The Bread meme coin on the Base blockchain had a quite nice week. It went up more than 25% while Bitcoin didn't go anywhere. Now let's have a look at how much longer this rally can last. Let's see who's buying here. Let's see who's selling here. Let's look at on-chain metrics most people are not considering. So here we are. We're currently at 11 cents. A gain of 26.58% in the week. And here's Bitcoin during the same time period. Now on-chain, Bread has almost 700,000 holders. But not all of those holders are created equally. Just the minority of those holders has $1,000 just in the token. Now this is not the first video on Bread on this channel. I publish videos on various meme coins regularly here. And on average, those videos tend to perform pretty well. So the average video is here in gray, and in blue we see the performance of one of those Bread videos published roughly 4 months ago. Here's another Bread video, also an outperformer. And here's another one published roughly half a year ago, also outperformed. So it appears as if there is a lot of attention on Bread. And once we look at the on-chain metrics, we actually see quite constant accumulation by retail. Now the on-chain metrics won't tell us the whole story, but they're at least a part of it. Because there is quite a bit of trading also happening in centralized exchanges, which are black boxes. We don't really know what's going on over here. But there's trading on Uniswap, there's trading on Aerodrome. And that makes in sum roughly 20% of the trading volume. And so let's have a look at those 700,000 holders. On the left side, we see the number of holders that have 10,000 Bread tokens. It's currently 35,000 wallets. It's roughly $1,140. So roughly 95% of holders have less than $1,000 in the token. Now let's look at the holders that have even more. Let's go at 10x in minimum holding, or $10,000 worth of the token. Now we are only looking at 6,666 wallets. So by going another 10x in minimum holding, we are reducing the amount of wallets by around 80%. If we go another 10x, so now we're looking at $100,000 worth of the token, then we're reducing the number of wallets by another 80 to 90%. Now here's what's interesting, right? We see very constant accumulation by small retail. We also see accumulation by medium-sized retail. The very large whales did not necessarily grow that much. They still go up in numbers, but not as quickly. So whatever long-term price appreciation we see is mainly driven by small retail. Now let's have a look at the last month, where the price went up by roughly 40%. And we see how that appreciation in price did not necessarily happen very smoothly. Let's go from the all-time charts to the charts that only have the last month. Again, retail accumulates very consistently. Medium-sized retail doesn't necessarily. So here we have seen selling in the last 2 weeks, which kind of coincides also with the price going down by roughly 20%. What we now see with the final leg up is that both small retail, but also the whales are accumulating again. So this recent pump here is also driven by the whales. It's not just retail. Now, how much more upside potential is there? Let's have a look at relative valuations to other meme coins. But before that, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos on Bread regularly. I publish videos on other meme coins also regularly on this channel. Now let's make the comparison. Bread has a market cap of roughly 1.1 billion. If it was to 2x from here, it would become part of the top 5 meme coins. Only Dog with Head, Pepe, Shiba Inu and Dogecoin would be larger. A 10x from here would flip everything but Dogecoin, so it would put it in the second largest of the meme coins. And a 20x is pretty much unrealistic unless the market as a whole is going up. Just for outperformance, it's unlikely that we're going to see $2 per Bread, because that would flip the OG, which is Dogecoin. Now here's something very fascinating. It seems like in the early days of Bread, there was some kind of manipulation by some holders happening. Because have a look at the number of buyers and sellers per day. Usually the ratio is somewhat balanced, but we've got these spikes over here. What happened here? And let's also check out this over here, the 3rd of July. Now what's interesting here? We don't see that the trading volume on those days was particularly high. So apparently there were a lot of buyers, more than 100,000 per day, but the Bread tokens that moved on those days didn't really increase. And that's a strong sign for manipulation. It seems like somebody wrote a script to buy and sell the token very often with a lot of different wallets with very small amounts to inflate the transaction numbers to then get listed on dexscreener.com, on Dex Tools, on all of those screener sites. Because when you're a trending token on those pages, of course, this also generates more attention, potentially more buying. But see what happened afterwards. Afterwards, the price tended to go down. So the day of the manipulation was the top, and subsequently we saw a drop of more than 55%. Or over here on the 3rd of July, we also saw subsequently selling pressure. Usually it's good to see on a given day more buyers than sellers, but when it shoots up that much and it becomes unrealistic, and when actually not more tokens move hands, then it's rather a sign to be cautious. And so I want to share this over here. It seems like currently something very similar happens for the GME token. So the GME token on Solana has seen 146,000 wallets active in the last 24 hours. This is extremely inflated, especially given that the trading volume was only 6.1 million. So it seems like something very similar is happening. It seems like GME is going to see a very nice dump now. Something similar to what happened in the early days of the bread manipulation. So how can you spot this yourself? Whenever you're considering to buy a token, have a look at the number of transactions, have a look at the number of makers, have a look at the trading volume. And let's say you're looking at the top trending tokens in the last 24 hours and you're ordering by the number of makers and you see that the trading volume is actually not that high. Then this is reason to be cautious. Have a look at this. This is another pump and dump. The PO token lost 50%. Or over here, Retardio Solami Index lost 66%. GameStop is about to lose. Probably this match token isn't too great either. So what you want to see is something more realistic. Now, is this here more realistic? 25 million for 100,000 wallets. It's also not realistic because here the liquidity pool is only 150k. So there's barely any liquidity here. So this also makes no sense. Let's have a look at the largest tokens. Let's order them by liquidity. Now we seem to have mainly more legitimate tokens, Michi, GigaChat, Frog, and we can see the number of wallets that are actually involved in a regular day. 2,000, 3,000, maybe 4,000, but definitely not 146,000 as we can see now on GameStop. So I hope you're learning something out of those videos that goes beyond just buying or selling bread. If you're researching your favorite crypto token, make sure that the numbers all align and that nobody is manipulating to then create attention to then afterwards dump the price. Now we learned about bread very early. There's the premium membership and we are tracking various influencer wallets, and we have seen the first transactions happening in the middle of March when it wasn't even listed yet on CoinMarketCap, and we can see how the Dogecoin millionaire, how Crypto Lifter, how Handsome Finance got involved in bread. And again, that was when the price was over here. Since then, we went up by 200% and to the top even by 400%. So here's the Dogecoin millionaire, has 115,000 subscribers. Here's Handsome Finance, 34,000 subscribers. And here's Crypto Lifter, 72,000 subscribers. Overall, we're tracking more than 419 wallets. Here are the wallets of Kyle Chessy. Here are the wallets of Paolo.sol. And we then discuss those signals in our altcoin chat groups to be early to then buy potentially with the influencer before they then afterwards promote this on their channels. So again, link is down below, thebitcointrader.com. If you're not that deep into meme coin trading though, if you simply just want to discuss about Bitcoin, there's also a free Telegram. That link is down below as well. Looking very much forward to seeing you there as well. Cheers.